the same time, you're gonna be imagining yourself dreaming in the form of a story. So I'm gonna do that, and this will help you sleep and pay off your sleep credit card. So here we go. I'm gonna whisper this time, and let's get this started. So you will now be dreaming. You're now dreaming. It is the dream world, and you are yourself in bed. And it is morning time. So it is really early in the morning, around 8 a.m. And you are half asleep in your bed, and the sun is barely up, okay? And you decide to want to sleep back because you just want to get in more hours in your bed, okay? But as you are about to fall asleep, you get a call. Apparently the call is from a company that you have probably applied for a job. And in your dream self, just imagine you're trying to search for jobs, trying to search and send in applications, and you think to yourself, maybe today's your day. And now your body goes into awake mode as you get this call. So the call that you get is surprising, and you take it and you pick up the phone, and then you say, "Hi, hello, my name is," insert your name here. For instance, if your name is Kyle, just say, "Hi, hello, my name is Kyle," whatever your name is. And it's Kyle speaking. And so you try to expect the reply, you expect the person to reply to you, but 2 seconds in, you hear nothing. On the other end, you hear nothing, and you think you're wondering why you get nothing out of that, and your mind just goes into stress mode. You don't know what's going on, you can't hear the other person. And then you're in this call, so you're in this important call for maybe like that, and you are a little bit under pressure. And now you're having issues with the audio, so those 5 seconds were the longest, seeming like the longest, and you quickly realize that your audio output is not from your speakers. So it is set to not your speakers, but your AirPods. And your AirPods are at the other end of your bed, charging. So you move over to the AirPods and you try to turn it off, and then you go to your settings on your phone to try to quickly set the setting on the call from AirPods to speakers, whatever the output is, okay? And now you quickly do it, and then in the middle of you doing it, you hear this male voice on the other end. "Hello." Okay. And so you quickly respond saying, "Hello, my name. It is Kyle speaking," or whatever your name is. And then the person that's asking you says, like, he rambles you in response. something like, I am calling for the company Bell or something like that, and he is looking for inquiries for your availabilities or something. He says something like, what are your availability to work or something like that. And the moment he asks that, your brain lights up. Your brain lights up. Maybe he's going to give you an interview. It is, you know that in your dream self, you have applied to Bell for a company, or like a really good company, and Bell has answered your application, and then your brain lights up and you think it's the gold mine. You hit the gold mine, and he believes that it's going to be the best opportunity ever, and he asked other things like, can you work weekends or can you work evenings, and what do you see yourself in 3 years? And you think to yourself, okay, this is a phone interview, and in your perspective, you know that you answer your questions well, and you think that you have not made any mistakes in answering those questions, and it seems that the phone interview or phone screen is going really smoothly. And everything seems to go pretty well. Okay, so you are really excited, and you went from half asleep to full blown awake because of the phone call. So everything seems to go super well until he asks this question. He asks this question: what is your marital status? Why would he ask that? You think to yourself. That question kind of gives you a little bit of a thinking gap. You do not feel like answering the question. And you just give an answer like, I don't feel at a position to answer that, and what is the purpose of that question? You answer him like that, and he just, instead of replying to your question, he then asks you other personal questions, questions that are out of place and not related to your job or your perspectives in your career. And then what happens next is that your bedroom door opens. And then you realize your mother has come into your room and comes towards you. She then looks at you with a moment of confusion. So you tell her, please, can you leave? I am busy. I'm taking the call. Like that, you give a gesture that, oh no, I'm busy. I'm in a call. And your mother just, okay, something like that, and nods and leaves your bedroom. You are in a moment of stress right now in this call. You thought the interview was going well, but now you hit a rocky moment, and now this interviewer is asking you different questions that don't make any sense, out of place, and maybe even personal. asks you, okay, he asks you, what is your address? Oh my gosh, why would you ask that? You think to yourself, why the hell is he asking your address? Again, you reply to him, what is the purpose of this question? Why do you need to know the address? And then right after you ask that, he says, oh, you thought I'm calling for Belle? I'm actually not calling for Belle. You got on. Good job. You ask him, what do you mean you got on? Why did he say that? And it's like, I'm not working, I'm not a call, or something like that. I'm not working for Belle. He then says, I'm searching for my next victim. Your heart skips a beat because if you were to provide the address, he could have come and got you. And then you wake up. After that line that he says, you instantly wake up in your real self. And so this is the end of this dream imagination story with wooden cubes for tingles. I hope you find this video useful. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up. And hopefully this makes you sleep, eases off your sleep debt, and pays off your entire balance of your sleep credit card. Let me know in the comments whether I should do whispering or soft speak or something, or speak in a quiet room for soft spoken voice for my next video. So anyways, I hope I see you again, and good night.